Hello friends, this is Arpita and in this video I am going to explain you about branchial plexus. Friends, whatever I tell you in this video about branchial plexus is all I am mentioning in my notes which I post at the end, so you can have the notes too. So let's begin. Branchial plexus. Branchial plexus is a group of or network of interwoven vessels which are basically here nerves. This branchial plexus is formed by 5 nerves which are 4 cervical, that is C5, C6, C7 and C8, and the thoracic only one, that is T1. The function of branchial plexus is a primary nervous control and entire sensory stimulation for the upper extremity. Branchial plexus is present in the axilla, which you can mark at the lower end of the neck to the armpit. Branchial plexus is divided into two parts, that is supraclavicular part, which comprise of root, trunk and division, whereas infraclavicular part comprise of cord and branches. These nerves form root part. In the root part, C5 has certain branches, like the first one is the phrenic one. This phrenic nerve goes to diaphragm and it is made of C3, C4 and C5 nerve. Basically C4 forms the major part of phrenic nerves. Other than this is L, T and long thoracic nerve, which is formed together with C5, C6 and C7. This nerve together goes to serratus anterior muscle of scapula and DSN dorsal scapular nerve, which goes to rhomboid major and minor muscle. Now these roots further extending form trunk. When C5 and C6 combine, they form upper trunk. C7 remains solo, whereas C8 and T1 combines and form lower trunk. As like root has branches like phrenic nerve, DSN, LTN, likewise trunk also has branches. In that only upper trunk has a branches. The first one is the branch to suprascapular nerve, which goes to this in supra and the infrascapular fossa part of the scapula, and nerve to the subclavian goes to subclavian. Now moving on, this trunk part further divides and form divisions. This division is in two parts. Each trunk divided into two parts, that is the anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior, anterior and the posterior. Now moving on forward, this is the division part. Now moving on, it forms cords. Basically you can see from here that the anterior of the upper and the middle trunk combines to form lateral cord. Posterior of all three trunks, upper, medial and lower, together forms posterior cord, whereas the anterior of the lower trunk left alone and form the medial cord. Now cord extending further, they form branches. Before beginning to branches, we should have some mnemonics, so to learn them easily. The mnemonic for the lateral cord is LML. The mnemonic for the posterior cord is ulnar. It is a mnemonic, not ulnar bone. nor nerve. Remember this, hence I star mark this. And the mnemonic for medial cord is M4U. Okay, so now begin. Now the branches of the lateral cord is lateral pectoral nerve, which goes to the pectoralis muscle and supply to its major part only, that is the pectoralis major. The cutaneous nerve, which goes to the flexor group muscles and foreskin of skin of the forearm. The other one is the lateral root of the medial nerve, which I will explain you later on. Now branches of posterior cord. U is for the upper subscapular nerve, which goes to the upper subscapular muscle. L is the lower subscapular nerve, which goes to the fibers of the lower subscapular muscle. N is for nerve to the latissimus dorsi, that is is the muscle which is present at the inferior angle of the scapula, and it is also known as thoracodorsal nerve. Axillary nerve, which goes to the deltoid muscle. Radial nerve, which innervates the extensor group compartment and foreskin of skin of the posterior surface of arm. Radial nerve is the longest and the thickest branch of the branchial plexus. First one, the branches of the medial cord are 5 in number. The first one is the medial pectoral nerve, which supplies to the pectoralis major and the minor muscle. The second one is medial branchial cutaneous nerve, which supply to the skin of the arm. Third one is medial antebranchial cutaneous nerve, which supply to the skin of forearm. Ulnar nerve supply to the muscle of hands, and medial root of medial nerve, which combines with lateral root of the medial nerve, forming the medial nerve here. Okay friends, that is all for today, and I'll post the notes here. Okay, thank you.